Alright folks, as most of you know, I post daily videos covering the world of precious metals, geopolitically, economically, fundamentally, whatever it is, I cover it. But one topic that is extremely overlooked is exactly what they talk about in this article. They're talking about the market between silver and gold, and these numbers are staggering. This really does put in perspective what could happen if just 1.5% of gold investors switched sides? Because gold is a $300 billion blind spot. Why does gold get the spotlight? And here is David Bateman, which is the guy that bought $1 billion worth of 1,000 ounce COMEX bars. He mentions this. There's approximately $300 billion spent each year buying newly mined gold for investment purposes. Silver is only a $25 billion annual industry. If just $5 billion, 1.5% of gold's investment capital flowed into silver, the silver price would go stratospheric. That's just 10 investors like me around the whole world. And that's because he bought $1 billion worth of silver, which is right here, and he took it into physical delivery. He also mentioned 13 reasons why silver is the best investment. Gold is a much bigger market than silver, and that's why silver is more volatile. It's more easily manipulatable because it's so small. So banks like JP Morgan are going to spoof the silver market more so than gold. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, is what if just 1.5% switch to silver? That is something that is very realistic, especially as people start to understand why silver has so much opportunity beyond gold. So anyways, with that said, make sure you click subscribe and make sure you like this video. Let's get Salivate Metal to 100K. He's at 97.4 thousand subscribers. Let's get him to 100K. Go flood his channel. Go flood his channel with love and support. Let him know that you came from my channel. Let him know the Slayer Army loves him. He's the first silver stacking channel on YouTube, so he deserves this. He's been working hard every day. Let's get him to 100K. He deserves that shiny silver play button just as much as any of us, if not more, because he's the pioneer. He paved the way. So right now, silver's sitting at like $37. If you wanted to purchase some of this shiny stuff while we are in the middle of a slight pullback, so you're getting it at a discount, then send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Slayer sent you. Tomorrow, our new gold, silver, and platinum specials will be out. We always have great prices, so send an email. They'll get back to you within 5-6 hours, never more than a day. It's usually instantly, and ask for a price sheet. Ask what this week's specials are. Let them know Slayer sent you. That helps me out. Support companies like Miles Franklin. Andy Scheckman's the CEO. You know, you're giving back to the community instead of buying from some big corporation, and it's not like it's affecting you at all. Our prices are just as good, if not better, and we usually have a much bigger inventory and variety. So yeah, with that said, let's talk about this. Silver set to skyrocket. A small shift from gold could trigger massive price explosion amid surging demand and shrinking supply. And I've always been one to say that I think that silver will take on a life of its own beyond gold. That regardless of what gold's doing, silver's going to do what it does, because silver is so much more useful than gold is on so many different fronts. Now, the world pumps nearly $300 billion into newly mined gold investments each year, a river of capital flowing relentlessly into a single centuries-old asset class. By comparison, silver is a relative minnow, attracting just $25 billion annually. Why does this imbalance persist? And what happens if even a fraction of gold's vast market is diverted into the overlooked, undervalued silver sector? What if just 1.5% of gold investors switch sides? It's such a good question. Imagine only 1.5% of gold's global investment pot, about $5 billion, suddenly cascading into silver. The result? Market analysts predict silver's price would erupt vertically. Why? Because the silver market is so much smaller and more tightly traded than even limited inflows can spark massive price swings. And I've talked about that so much. People do not understand how much smaller of a market gold is, or smaller of a market silver is than gold. It's much smaller. So could it really take just 5 billion in shifted capital, 10 heavyweight investors, or the action of a single country to launch silver into a new stratosphere? Are financial leaders and global elites truly so blind to this opportunity, or do they have reasons for steering clear? I think they're blind. I think people still are on the fence about silver. They don't watch daily silver channels like mine, or they don't look at the bigger picture. They're stuck at the price of $37, right? Like Andy Schectman says, price is the greatest tool of misdirection. A lot of people don't understand silver's true value yet. You and I do, but we're talking about the big players. David Bateman does, and I'm sure that post that he made, especially with the 13 reasons why he's putting $1 billion bet against silver rather than anything else, that probably helps, but still, it's a much smaller market. It's not mainstream yet. Silver, the asset hiding in plain sight. Strip away the glamour and lore surrounding gold, and silver quietly outperforms as the rebel with the cause. What other critical asset has less above ground inventory than gold itself? Silver is the indispensable raw material for everything from smartphones and solar panels to surgical instruments, yet is battered by a 5-year structural supply deficit. What would happen if silver's suppressed supply and growing industrial hunger exploded into public consciousness? Then you have counterparty risk, the elephant in the banker's vault. The stakes go so much deeper than speculative profit. Silver is one of those rare, authentic assets that carries no counterparty risk, a crucial status when the world's largest banks periodically tremble on the edge of a collapse. In a moment when a single bank's misstep can send shockwaves through the entire financial system, why do investors still flock to complicated derivatives and digital tokens instead of to physical silver coins and bars held in their own hands? Do they trust the system to hold up under another crisis, or have they simply not considered the gravity of such risks? And that is a good point, and that's why I feel so obligated to post these videos on a daily basis, because a lot of people, I don't think they know they have an option. A lot of people are just sitting ducks. And if I'm able to reach someone who's never invested a single penny in their entire life, or show them that there is an alternative to the collapsing financial system, that they can protect their hard-earned, wealth, then my job is done. So will the next banking crisis smash open the silver door? A banking sector under duress unleashes a primal search for safety. As history has shown, the more investors fear the next catastrophic domino, the more they race towards hard assets. When inevitably a new banking crisis hits and institutional money once again seeks sanctuary, will silver finally receive its due attention from global capital flows, or are we on the cusp of a generational breakout? Or will the status quo's guardians succeed in keeping a fresh silver revolution just out of reach? Let me know in the comment section below what you think the best possibility is. So who's really pulling silver strings? Yet here comes the most unsettling question. If this dynamic is so obvious, why hasn't it already happened? There's mounting evidence whispered in boardrooms and across dark corners of financial forums pointing towards a globally orchestrated effort to suppress both the price and the demand for silver. Who benefits from keeping the price of an industrially critical investment-starved metal artificially low? Might it be with those most to lose from a wholesale revaluation of real money, central banks, entrenched finance houses, or the shadowy networks that move metal behind the scenes? AKA the military, the Department of Defense, the military-industrial complex, the ones that stopped reporting their silver reserves in 1995, the ones that openly admitted that silver is needed a lot more in military than we realize, and that we should be focusing silver for drones and satellites and Tomahawk missiles and nuclear energy more so than an EV, right? Silver wins wars. I think a war is a little more important than a solar panel is, right? If we don't have enough silver to make all of these military industrial applications, you could see how dangerous that could be. So silver supply crunch, the crisis nobody's watching. The silver supply and demand equation grows more. And by the way, folks, I just want to, if you don't think there's a lot of silver in military, there's 500 ounces of silver in a single Tomahawk missile, up to 11,000 ounces in some torpedoes. Now think about how much war, how many wars are going on and how much silver is being used. In just war and aerospace, which, by the way, those numbers aren't even reported into the Silver Institute's annual numbers. So with a 5-year structural deficit breaking records, that's not even including all the silver that's used in military, which is a bigger sector than EVs and solar, which is the top sector of reported. Right, that's the Silver Institute's #1 reported sector or industry, and the one that's not reported is even bigger than that. So it's even worse than we realize. Not you and I, but worse than the public realizes. So the data is actually much more staggering and more detrimental. So the silver supply and demand equation grows more treacherous by the year. 5 years running, global demand has outpaced mine production, depleting above ground reserves, yet mainstream headlines remain fixated on gold's every tick. What will happen when the wider investing public, squeezed by inflation, bank collapses, and geopolitical maneuvering, seeks alternatives in earnest? Could a sudden influx of only a few $1 billion turn silver from afterthought to headline act? I do think so. Ready or not, silver's reckoning approaches. Here's the silent warning. Every day, the gap between silver's real-world value and its suppressed price stretches thinner. One major institutional pivot, a single sovereign stockpiling, or a rolling crisis in the banking system could ignite a catalyst, or the catalyst. Are you prepared for the breakout, or are you still waiting for experts who missed the last crisis to tell you when to act? Silver's day is not just coming, it's barreling down the tracks with the force of inevitability, and only a handful will spot it before the avalanche. Will you be among them, or be left reading about it in the history books? Let me know in the comments what you're doing. Are you going to be the people that bought Bitcoin at $20 knowing about it back then? Or are you the one that read it in, that saw it after it exploded with that gut feeling in your stomach, asking yourself why you didn't buy it back then when it was only $20? Or people who think they missed the boat. Oh, Bitcoin at $20, I missed it. Now it's $1,000. Oh, that's too late. I missed it. I missed the boat, so they don't buy it at 1,000. Then it goes to 5,000. Oh man, I should have bought it at 1,000 because now it's 5,000. I missed the boat. Then it goes to 10,000. Oh, I should have bought it at 5,000. I missed the boat. It's at 10,000 now. Then it goes to 20,000. Oh man, I should have bought it at 10,000. Now it's at 20. Then it goes to 50,000. Oh man, now it's 50,000. I missed. Then it goes to 100,000. You keep waiting and waiting, thinking you missed the boat, but at the end of the day, you're just in this illusion of thinking you missed it while there's still opportunity and potential. Not saying that is the case with Bitcoin, but with silver, it definitely hasn't hit that top yet. Bitcoin, you could argue maybe it has. Who knows? I don't think it has. But with silver, it definitely hasn't. So why wouldn't you take advantage of that while you know it's still there, right? Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's keep it short and sweet. This is a very good point, though. Gold is a much bigger market than silver, but even just 1.5% moves over to silver, that could be catastrophic, or stratospheric and catastrophic for a couple different reasons. If you want to go into, how important silver is, and if we run out of it, what that would do to the economy. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Go subscribe to Salivate Metal, subscribe to me if you wanted to purchase some of this shiny stuff, or get gold too if you want, whatever. info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Slayer sent you. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Folks, I'm so excited to announce that I've partnered with American medical experts whose purpose is helping veterans get the medical benefits that they truly deserve. Over 17 million veterans aren't receiving their full benefits, and if this is you or someone you know, then act now. American medical experts are offering free consultations through our med team to see how we can help. The med team offers board-certified doctors who have experience working with the VA, comprehensive comprehensive medical evidence for services like mental health as well. Some of these include your Nexus letter, your DBQs, your TDIUs, your AAs, and more. I want to personally thank American medical experts for helping veterans, but also giving me an opportunity to help veterans as well. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get a free consultation through our med team. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless.